Hello, lovely beings of love. That's my cat Jack, if you can hear him. He has a tendency to want to go outside. And, you know, we let him out. We've let him out before, and it's a little bit, well, there's a lot of mountain lions and stuff around here. My husband doesn't really want to let him out. I just want to respect that. So that's that. So that's actually not what I want to talk about necessarily tonight. But what I actually want to talk about is initiation. And in a way, this is all going to tie together, of course. If you can hear also in the background, I have a puppy in another room making noises. She's been let out, she's been fed and all that, but she just kind of needs to settle down, and it's a little difficult for her to settle down because of all of the energy. So how this ties in with what I'm talking about, or how I'm going to tie it in rather, because it could tie in any number of ways, as many ways as there are perspectives, which are infinite. The way that I'm tying it in is right now I'm feeling a period of initiation. And what I'm finding that initiation really means to me is it's like a test, of course. You know, when you're initiated, like if you're like hazing or something, right? It's almost a test of your dedication and devotion to something. Obviously, hazing in the sense of like being in a sorority or something, it's an interesting thing to devote yourself to, but people do. And there are many things you can devote yourself to, and once you begin to devote yourself, you're going to go through a period of initiation, because if you weren't devoted to something before, now you're devoting yourself. The difference is that devotion. So what you have to experience is basically the raw change of what devotion is, or rather what almost if you could like quantify, or if you could sort of like encapsulate what a devotion is. That's what initiation is to me, in a certain sense, but it's like that initial sense, because once you go past that gate, it's all love, right? It's all a part of you now. But when you're basically in the process of integrating a new way of life, it's going to be when you're in the process of integrating tofu into a curry, it's gonna be a bit challenging. You might have to pull out different tools that you didn't realize you'd have to pull out. All these different things. So basically, I'm feeling that this is kind of a collective thing right now, in a sense, as it always is. If you're feeling something, you're not the only one. You have a unique way of interpreting what you're feeling, but all the same, we can always relate. So initiation. Initiation is huge. What I'm currently being initiated into, I feel, is a way of perceiving that is more in line with my intellectual beliefs. So I'm integrating that, is another way of thinking about it, into my being. And so I want you to know that if you feel like you've been going for something for a while, maybe you're trying to create more abundance, or you're trying to have a meditation practice, or you're really just trying to be present with your kids, or you're trying to be more in sacred practice, or more ritualistic in the way that you are. Drink more water, whatever it is that you are trying to do. If you're finding it really difficult and you've been going at it for a long time, all I want you to know is that I feel that what I'm seeing is there's like this latent period of initiation where basically you're not really getting feedback. So that period is basically just you have to take it upon yourself to choose something. So I'm going to choose to get up at sunrise every day to greet the sun. Okay, so tomorrow when my alarm goes off, let's say I'm setting an alarm for 6 o'clock because the sun's rising a little later now, and when that clock goes off, I'm just like, ooh, I don't know if I'm feeling it. That's the point of your created initiation, where you created this initiation for yourself because you saw that there was a benefit on the other side. You felt that there was something that you needed to do. And so now you've created what I'm calling right now sort of this latent initiation where you're the only one who is keeping you accountable. And that's always the case in a sense, but hang with me. So there's that period, right? And now let's say, okay, so you're on, let's say you start getting on a good streak and you're like, whoa, I'm pretty proud of myself. Now all of a sudden what's going to happen is your outside world is going to reflect any resistance you still have that you've basically been able to skate past. So what's going to happen? So now you've gotten in a rhythm, and then all of a sudden, now at like 3 a.m, your kid starts waking up with like these nightmares and is asking for your attention. So now you're staying up, being present with your kid or whatever the case is, right? Your dog, whatever it is. And now it's like when 6 o'clock rolls around, you don't want to get up. So now you're thrown off your rhythm. That's the point that's kind of the beginning of what I'm talking about. The beginning of what I'm talking about, where you start to get this second level of initiation. And it's very interesting. So then it starts to reflect back to you. And then let's say the nightmares go away. And then you have a period where it's good. You're going to get waves of initiation because you're always being brought deeper and deeper until finally you surrender everything. But that's what I'm going to tell you right now is that if you're going through a period of initiation, the best thing to do is embrace and accept it. So drop everything. Drop everything. So you thought you were in a good pattern? Drop everything. Be present in that moment when your kid comes to you. Be present with the new initiation, because what the initiation right there is asking you to do is to be more integrated and more deep in your purpose. So instead of just having this idea that I have to get up at sunrise, well, what do you really want? You want balance, you want depth, you want stability, you want purpose in your life, right? So when your kid is asking you for attention right there, that's what you need to do. That's where you need to bring your attention to. Now, once you bring your attention to that, you'll be able to find the most effective way to maybe calm your kid, or maybe you can calm them, and then during the daytime now you're meditating on, or you're researching whatever way jives with you about nightmares, and maybe you're going to go more in depth on that, and then that's going to lead you down another form of initiation, because it's all going to tie into the betterment of you. Because when you call in an initiation, so you're calling in this initiation of waking up at sunrise, what you're doing is saying, yes, I want to be present here on earth. Yes, I want to stand for who I am. Yes, I want to better myself. Yes, I want to be a brighter star light on this planet, in this whole system of life. So that's what I'm gonna tell you. Don't be so narrow in your way of looking at whatever it is you're trying to do. So it's not about the thing, it's about the depth of where that takes you. And so always be willing, whenever you're feeling resistance, remind yourself, okay, this is an initiation. And when you start thinking about things as an initiation, it kind of feels more, well, honestly, that's what it is, I feel. But it does bring a sense of like mission, a purpose to what you're doing. So I'm going to invite you to join me in these initiations, and initiations into knowing ourselves deeper and uniting with who we truly are. Much love and abundance to all of you in all forms.